Hello everyone, my name is Executioner Thel, and today we are getting, we got news for 2XKO of apparently the final finishing touches are being done for Akali, which means we're gonna get a date for when her release will be around. We'll get that date next week. So next week we'll know kind of the timeline for when this champion will be released alongside the next patch, which is really exciting because the last patch was really good. Just we're going to get more adjustments, which, I mean, they've locked in last patch for a while, so I think this will be just more modern and up-to-date with kind of like feedback and whatnot. And yeah, we're going to get our new champion, the 13th champion to the game, which is Akali, who I am very excited for. So I wanted to take time to revisit this 7-second video that they showed off for just a very small snippet of gameplay for the character. Basically, I want to get this before the trailer comes out as my final theory crafting and ideas, and kind of try and predict what we're really looking at here. So I'll leave the volume pretty low, but yeah. So we have this teleport. So it's probably like S1, right? S1 or S2. It doesn't really matter. I think they're trying to universally keep a lot of like attack-based abilities on S2, whereas a lot of utility stuff on S1. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be S1. And yeah, like, it's Smoke Shroud, and I think it's probably the healthiest way to implement Smoke Shroud in a character like this, because giving a very fast character invisibility in something like a fighting game is scary. I would argue Teemo's not incredibly fast, or at least to the speed Akali's going to be, so making it a teleport instead is probably the smarter move. It's also very ninja, so it works. So she teleports behind Darius. Where behind Darius? Like, trying to, like, when she activates it, right? It's hard to tell. I think it's right behind him, though. For the fact that Darius does the forward attack makes me think that it's not like a fixed distance behind him. I think it's literally right behind him, because she activates it, he does a dash to make it look like it's a distance apart, but no. And then she dashes in. This is, I'm guessing, her standing medium. This just kind of makes sense. I think it's kind of weird that Akali doesn't have a standing medium like weapon attack. Instead, it's like this knee attack. Granted, a lot of characters in this game already, like Alawi and whatnot, have standing mediums just being like a kick or a big knee. So I say a lot of characters. Caitlyn has a very similar one, and I think about it. But yeah, what I'm getting at is, yeah, this looks like a medium attack based on how fast it comes out, like what its kind of purpose. And then she does like a crouching. I'm assuming that's a crouching medium. Typically, a crouching medium is like your poke, right? Your like low poke option that like covers like grounded opponents, whereas the knee is a little bit higher up. So what gets a little out there is this move where she does this spinning slash, and then that leads into an aerial state from the ground. So it's like a multi-hitting attack that leads into an airborne state, and then they cancel that into heavy in the air. I'm assuming this is heavy in the air for the fact that it's chargeable. And it kind of looks like it could be a heavy attack. I'm actually curious, because she actually flips to be upside down. This could also just be a follow-up from, I'm going to call this Sickle Storm. This move Sickle Storm, just so I don't have to refer back to like visualing. But this move that translates from a standing position into an air position, leading into this could be a follow-up. This could just be a heavy. It could be like a chargeable follow-up. But we won't know. Like I said, we won't know any of this until we get our hands on it. For now, I'm going to say that's probably a heavy attack. And I'm curious because she's upside down. If that shares the same heavy as her jumping regularly, is she upside down when airborne? Like when she jumps, she does like a flip to stay upside down, and that would lead to like a lot of her air attacks being from upside down, is what I'm wondering. Which I say because of that probably means that this is a follow-up from Sickle Storm. Just like leading into the airborne gives you like this weird heavy option. But anyway, moving that from there, run another medium, and then we have this, which I'm convinced is her 2H. Every character has like a universal launcher. I think it looks really cool for Akali. I was wondering for a long time, like, how do they give this character, like, an uppercut kind of move? And having this, like, almost breakdance kind of posture to leading up with the comma swing is cool. And then we get this, which I think is medium, right? This is like combo filler in the air, but it's also like air to air slash air to above. So like this might be good for like swatting at like Teemo super tag, for example, something that's like really high up in the air, or just Teemo parachuting in general. And then we get this again, which, like I said, looks a lot like the move we saw earlier, and seeing this now again, like in the moment, I think this is her heavy, which is cool. Seeing her do like flips and stuff mid air strings, I think it's awesome. And then she does this. Keep in mind, there is smoke here. So that just might be like an effect. I'm wondering if that's like a revolving mechanic, right? So there's like steam on Blitzcrank. Is smoke and like the smoke bomb affect attacks or like special moves? Are they related in some way? Is it charge based? Like, is Akali gonna have like Assassin's Marks maybe, to where she'll have like empowered special moves maybe, and that's implicated by the shadow, by the smoke cloud. It could just be to make a ninja look ninja-y, and to really sell that idea that Akali is very Smoke Shroud focused, which I'd say that's definitely one of her iconic abilities, is being able to put down a Smoke Shroud and fight within it, because they talked about champion thematics a lot with Alawi per se, where they wanted Alawi to be a puppet character that fights with her puppets and not commands the puppets all the time to do stuff. So they didn't want the puppet to fight for her, they wanted to fight alongside her. And so with Akali, I think a very good summary, apart from being mobile, apart from being high damage, and very sneaky and like dexterous, I think a big part of her is fighting within her shroud and using Smoke Shroud alongside like other tricks. But yeah, you get this cool spinning move that leads into a kick that knocks them into the ground, and that looks like a jump cancel now I'm looking at it. And then she smoke teleports to the ground. So there's a lot to take in there. I think for the sake of brevity, I'll say this spinning move, which I'll call just like comma blender. I'm just giving them names because we don't have names, and they can name it honestly anything, and nothing of this resembles really her kit, because it doesn't remember shuriken flip, no 5-point strike, no perfect execution, no Assassin's Mark. You could maybe call it Assassin's Mark, but I doubt it. But yeah, so for now, comma blender, for lack of a better name, because I think, like I said, they can call it whatever. This move looks like an air S2. Like you would activate this as like a follow-up to end your strings in the air, especially since it gives you a knockdown, which is really nice. And then they jump and then cancel into maybe S1 in the air, which, like I said earlier, I think S1 is like her teleport, which on the ground, maybe like forward S1 teleports you behind them, maybe neutral teleports in front of them, and then back maybe teleports like a different kind of dash as like a fake out. But yeah, so I think going from here, we have, assuming I'm correct, right? Because that's all we can do. I have no one here telling me if I'm correct or not. So going from here, we simply have S1, which is Smoke Shroud, teleport. We have medium there. We have crouching medium. We have this move, which it could be like forward S2. I get like very much Caitlyn's forward S2 vibes with this, with her overhead, where she like does this jumping like dive kick thing, right? Like the idea of like this is like probably an instant overhead. Now that I think about it, but because it seems to hit from like mid level up to high, like it hits grounded opponents, right? Into that. It's also hard to tell what will mix up what not, because this character doesn't block. This character just kind of gets hit by everything. Then we got heavy in the air, crouching heavy. We got medium air, or jumping medium, and then this, which is air S2. And then air S1 potentially. Maybe the neutral one just teleports you straight to the ground. Maybe maybe it goes behind people with the forward one. I'm assuming there's a risk to doing that, mostly because this is presented as using this in reaction to Darius doing an attack. Like, she's dodging the attack and then making her offense. I imagine if you did this smoke and Darius did nothing, he could maybe jab Akali out of the startup. So, like, an unsafe kind of teleport thing. Like I said, unsafe and meant to be dodging attacks, not necessarily just to skip neutral. So what don't we have in this? A lot of things. We don't have a lot of things. This is only a 7-second video with technically two combo strings, and then like I said, that neutral kind of thing. So we're missing, light punch. We're missing. Oh, sorry, I said light punch. It's Street Fighter. We're missing standing light. We're missing crouching light. We're missing standing H. Now that I think about it, so we're missing a lot of things. But where can we go from here, and what are super moves? Because we actually don't see a super move within this. I'm just gonna let this keep playing. As far as kind of like lights, I imagine just being like elbows or maybe just like some kunai strikes, because she does have a kunai in her hand. As far as heavy, probably just some crazy comma stuff. She already is using the comma into the rope form to kind of swing at various ranges. So I imagine she'll have some decent range, maybe even some fixed range. So maybe if like you're too close to her heavy, that'll actually miss potentially. The other thing to consider for specials, I imagine we're gonna get a shuriken throw or some kind of kunai throw. I just imagine maybe at some point. Part of me is leaning to think that 5-point strike, which is her Q, where she throws 5 kunai in like a cone, in League. So like maybe she just like is like a big area hitbox projectile. I imagine it'll be like a super 1, like S1 super potentially, and maybe it has like a bunch of hit stun, which can lead into an assist attack, or yeah, I don't know. And then that also could be her super assist when she's dead, because every character can spend bar to have a more powerful assist. The other thing to consider is perfect execution being her ultimate. It needs to be in here somewhere, and part of me wants to say the easy answer is just in her ultimate, like in her level 3, which would be fine. I think having 2 dashes that are horizontal like that would be really cool on a character like this, who's already ridiculously fast from what we can tell, and has a lot of like air options and teleports. But we'll kind of have to see. And heck, even if they want to really sell the whole smoke shroud in a circle kind of vibe that League of Legends already has, maybe her ultimate could be she plants a smoke shroud down, and then the effect happens, and then she's like striking you from the darkness or from the smoke cloud like a bunch of times, and then executing you. I don't know. She is an assassin, so I think that's all I really have to say. I think Shuriken Flip could potentially in this game. It sounds kind of broken in theory. Shuriken Flip is she does a backflip while throwing a shuriken in the opposite direction. When the shuriken connects with a target, she can then run up to them wherever they are, and she does like a kick. Really good reposition tool. It's a part of her burst tool in League, and it's pretty important because it's a very, very hit and run style playstyle, which allows Akali to punish dodged projectiles and find an opening from disengaging. I think that idea in itself is kind of really good in a game like this. Granted, there are a lot of characters with projectile invulnerability and ways to like kind of really deal with projectiles, so it might not be as good as I'm making it out to be. But it's something to consider. I don't think everything in Akali's kit needs to be for show. I think they've gotten almost enough. I think the only thing really missing right in this 7 seconds is like kunai strikes at all. I think kunai is a really important, more so than the shurikens. I think shurikens are cool, like she has a lot of stuff, and we already clearly have like comma like attacks and gameplay. But I think the kunai should have 5-point strike, or maybe even just like a single one. And like I said, it could be her lights simply, which would make sense since her mediums seem to be knee strikes, and then there's that low like comma strike. But yeah, I'm going really deep, like I said, into the 7 second thing, but I really wanted to give my love and appreciation for seeing my favorite character in the game. I'm ecstatic to finally maybe pill this character soon. Like I said, we'll have to wait until we have a day of when this character will be released. I'm going to be covering a lot more. I'm going to be doing a stream. I'm going to be doing a lot of labbing. That's just all I can really glean from the 7 seconds. So there's the theory craft. Definitely going to do an analysis on the trailer whenever it drops. And stay tuned. Thank you for watching.